Hello, Dan here. As some of you may know, I did some time behind bars a couple decades ago. I'm not proud of it, but it's part of who I am, so I'm not going to apologize for it. And in all honesty, you'd be hard pressed to find a line cook that hasn't spent at least a night in the pokey. In my time on vacation, we'll call it, in the state of Illinois' fine correctional facilities, I learned a good number of things. Street smarts and how to stand up for myself being among them. But also, I learned a good deal about cooking. In one of my stretches, I worked in a chow hall kitchen and learned to use all the industrial equipment to cook meals for both inmates and COs, correctional officers. And before my trouble with the law, I worked at a few hot dog and pizza joints, but never really thought about it as a career. That changed while I was in prison. At the particular facility I was being housed in at the time, we were lucky enough to have a civilian kitchen manager that actually took pride in his recipes and treated us trustees or inmate workers with respect. That's incredibly uncommon. Most correctional facilities I've been in, the food is like bad hospital quality at best, and inedible gruel, like we're talking sometimes spoiled at worst. I looked up to this man, and he in turn kind of took me in as a student. He taught me a lot about the restaurant industry and just cooking in general and what to expect when seeking a job in the industry upon my release. I learned a great deal about cooking in my time there, including the aspiration to make it my career, as I've since done for the most part, I'd like to think. This video isn't about any of that, though. This is a tutorial about what some inmates make to eat from their commissary or jailhouse grocery when left to their own devices. This video is about prison dip tacos. Let's go make them, shall we? Okay, this is everything that you're going to need to make these dip tacos. First of all, we have chili flavored Morichan ramen. This is always available on commissary. Sometimes it'd be top ramen, but most often be Morichan, depending on the facility you were in, but I always prefer the Morichan chili ramen. Next we have chili with no beans. Now on commissary in prison, you would not get this in a can. It would come in a bag, because you can't go giving inmates sharp metal, can you? Because that proves to be a problem. Next we have summer sausage, about a 12-ounce log of summer sausage. The commissary, these usually came in smaller logs, so sometimes you'd have to buy two, but that's what we got. Jalapeno cheese spread. It came in a plastic container again because metal is a no-no when you're locked up. So, but yeah, we're not going to be using all of this, just a couple of tablespoons worth. Then we have Louisiana hot sauce, Louisiana style hot sauce. I had Crystal here. We even had some generic like Keefy brand or something like that on commissary. And again, it came in packets because glass, no. And then we have chili cheese Fritos. They came exactly like this in commissary. And then finally we have some tortillas. The ones that we bought, I believe they were called like Cactus Annie's or something like that. I think that was a brand name, but this is what they had at the store, so that's what I got. So that's everything you're gonna need. Let's get into how we're gonna make this. First things first, we gotta break these up. The way we would do it is we would literally just slam these things against the floor in our cell. Since we don't have concrete floors here, and I have downstairs neighbors, I'm just gonna be topping against my butcher block here. That'll do the trick. And you just do this with all four, and then we're gonna dump them right into this bowl here, and mix in also the seasoning packets. Okay, now that we got these all broken down and crunched up, I added the seasoning packets. Quick note, I only added 3 out of the 4 packets since we're only using a little bit of water in this. I don't want it to be too salty. It's still gonna be salty, but it is what it is. Nobody said this is health food. So next, you want to peel your summer sausage. It always has this paper on it. I'm sure there's better brands that don't have the paper, but
is the kind we always got. And then we're gonna chop this guy up. Now, in jail, obviously, again, you don't get sharp objects like this. What you would get, or what you would use, is either a plastic cutlery knife that you would either steal or keep from your dinner tray, or you'd remove the blade from your razor, and you would chop it up with that. But then you'd have to be careful and make sure you put the blade back into the razor, because you'd have to turn them into the COs to get a new one. So because you also wanted to shave and stuff. So go ahead and chop this up just in the quarters like that. And I'm just gonna do, bite-sized pieces like that. You can tear it by hand too. You want it a little more rustic. But that's all. That's all you really gotta do. And then we're gonna add all of this right to the bowl, and before we add the water, because you want to kind of get this heated up too. Okay, now I got some water in the kettle here. Normally we would have had what's called a hot pot. I think they banned those eventually because inmates were filling them up with baby oil and throwing them into each other's faces and causing severe burns. And then they kind of stopped doing that, and they basically just the only way we could cook our noodles is by making what's called a stinger. I'm not going to get into what that is right now. Google it. And also, I'm heating up the chili in a pan here. Normally, we would just have the residual heat from the warm noodles and summer sausage, and just dump the chili in cold and just deal with it that way. But since I have a stove, why not be fancy with it? Okay, so the kettle is ready. So now we're going to add just enough hot water to basically cover the noodles. That should be good right there. And now we're going to cover these. And it's funny, when locked up, we wouldn't have nice bowls like this. We might have a plastic Tupperware, but most often we put this in a plastic garbage bag. And that was your cooking vessel of choice. But like I said, we're fancy today. So we're just going to cover this, and we're going to wait until all the water is absorbed and the noodles are soft. Noodles, say hi to everybody. I'm making prison food. You want some? Yeah, you do. Good girl. Okay, you guys, the noodles have absorbed all the liquid and are nice and soft. So now I'm going to add the warmed chili, all of it. Okay. Now I'm going to add a couple globs of this delicious cheese and jalapeno spread. One glob there, and another glob there. And then a few dashes of this hot sauce here. There we go. Now, I'm just going to mix thoroughly in this kind of a shallow bowl, so I got to be careful. It's a lot easier when it's in a plastic garbage bag because you can just mush it all together with your hands, but be a little bit more dainty with this little bowl here. Anyway, I know it looks so delicious, doesn't it? Believe me though, it does taste good. I promise. I really should use a bigger bowl for this. Okay, looking like a pretty good mix here. Up next, we're gonna build the tacos.
Hey honey, I think I did it. I think I made my greatest masterpiece. Are you ready for one of the best meals you've ever had? All right, well get ready. I'm gonna serve it up shortly. Get excited.
All right, so I'm gonna get a couple flour tortillas down here. We really didn't have a way to toast them or heat them up, so in the for authenticity purposes, I'm going to leave them as is, and we're going to fill them. And we usually get pretty obscene with this stuff and get a pretty good amount. Just shovel it in there, you know. And then, flip your boy. There we go. Go to the other side. A good amount of that summer sausage in there, you know, because you need your protein. Everyone needs their protein. A little bit more in that one. Whatever. That's good. So that's that. Now, les pièces de résistance. Chili cheese Fritos. We just take these. Nice little white crush. And voila. We have prison dip tacos. Sometimes inmates would just eat the dip on its own without the tortillas, depending on the availability of the tortilla, or just sometimes they just prefer to eat it out of a bowl. But I always liked it in taco / burrito form. People get weird with it sometimes and put honey and mayonnaise and other weird shit in there, but I think this is a pretty good base, a pretty good representation of this standard dip, at least in Illinois. I've heard it called other things in other states, but we always called it dip. Anyway, this is it. Honey, dinner's ready, or lunch.
Oh my. Oh, two! You're so generous.
Want to take a bite? Let everybody know what you think.
Okay. Should I say that I've had this before?
Well, you're on camera already, so now they know.
And it's actually good.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't kept making it because it's not good, you know?
They're huge.
I know, I'm sorry.
Obscene.
Food porn. How is it?
I'm good.
Okay. Alright.
I'm cool.
I'll leave you alone now.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Alright, y'all. That's about all I had for you today. Let me know if you enjoyed this, and maybe I'll make some other dumb recipes in the future. Until then, have a good night. Like and subscribe for more recipes.